Once upon a time there was a little engine called Edward. He lived in a shed with 5 other engines. They were all bigger than Edward and boasted about it.
The driver won't choose you again,
they said.
Yeah, you want big engine like us.
One of the engines in Edward's shed was called Gordon. He was very big and very proud.
You watch me this afternoon, little Edward,
he boasted.
As I rush through with the express, that'll be a splendid sight for you.
Just then, his driver pulled the lever.
Goodbye, little Edward,
said Gordon as he puffed away.
Look out for me this afternoon.
Edward had not been out for a long time, and he began to feel sad. Just then, the driver and the fireman came along to start work. The driver looked at Edward.
Why are you sad? Would you like to come out today? Oh, yes, please.
So, the fireman lit the fire and made a nice lot of steam. Then the driver pulled the lever and Edward puffed away. He whistled.
Look at me now! Look at me now! Look at me now!
The others were very cross at being left behind. Away went Edward to get some coaches.
Be careful, Edward,
said the coaches.
Don't bump and bang us like the other engines do.
So, Edward came up to the coaches very, very gently. And the shutter fastened with the coupling.
Thank you, Edward. That was kind. We are glad you are taking us today.
Then they went to the station, where the people were waiting. Whistled Edward.
Get in quickly, please.
So, the people got in quickly, and Edward waited happily for the guard to blow his whistle and wave his green flag. He waited and waited. There was no whistle, no green flag. Presently he heard a whistle. However, it wasn't the guards. It was Gordon puffing along very slowly and very crossly. Instead of nice shining coaches, he was pulling a lot of very dirty coal trucks.
A goods train, a goods train, a goods train,
he grumbled.
The shame of it, the shame of it, the shame of it.
He went slowly through with the trucks, clattering and banging behind him. Edward laughed and continued to wait for the guard.
Where is that guard?
Edward was getting anxious. The driver and the fireman asked the station master.
Have you seen the guard?
No,
he said. And they asked the porter.
Have you seen the guard?
Yes, last night.
Said the porter. Edward began to get cross.
Are we ever going to start?
Just then a little boy shouted,
Here he comes!
and there the guard was, running down the hill with his flags in one hand and a sandwich in the other. He ran onto the platform, blew his whistle and jumped into his van. Edward pulled off. did have a happy day. All the children ran to wave as he went past, and he met old friends at all the stations. They stopped to rest, and soon afterwards a porter came and spoke to his driver.
Our young Gordon can't get up the hill with his goods trucks. Will you take your engine to push him, please, driver?
They found Gordon halfway up the hill and very cross. His driver and fireman were talking to him severely.
You're not trying.
I can't do it.
Said Gordon.
The noisy trucks hold an engine back so. If they were coaches now, clean, sensible things that come quietly, that would be different.
Edward's driver came up.
We've come to push,
He said.
No use at all.
Said Gordon.
You'll see,
Said Edward's driver. They brought the train back to the bottom of the hill, and Edward came up behind the brakeman, ready to push.
I'm ready.
Said Edward.
No good.
Grumbled Gordon. The guard blew his whistle. And they pulled and pushed as hard as they could.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Puffed Gordon.
I will do it. I will do it. I will do it.
Puffed Edward.
I can't do it.
I will do it.
I can't do it.
I will do it.
Can't do it.
I will do it.
They puffed together. Edward puffed, pushed and puffed, puffed and pushed as hard as ever he could. But almost before he realised it, Gordon found himself at the top of the hill.
I've done it. I've done it. I've done it.
He said proudly, and forgot all about Edward's pushing behind. He didn't wait to say thank you, but ran on so fast that he passed 2 stations before his driver could make him stop. Edward had pushed so hard that when he got to the top, he was out of breath. Gordon ran on so fast that Edward was left behind. He worked so hard that the driver promised to take him out the next day.
I'm going out again tomorrow.
He told the other engines that night in the shed.
What do you think of that?
He didn't hear what they thought, for he was so tired and happy he fell asleep at once.